Welcome everyone to Drink While You Think. I'm your co-host Kenji, and he is
I'm Matthew.
just the two of us today, which normally means that the IQ of this broadcast goes down tremendously, and probably the takeaway value. But doing something fun again today. We're on beer number 2, so both of us can show we're drinking the same beer. Oh, my marks are still on there. The Kama Citra IPA. Coming in is at a 5.9.
5.9.
5.9.
At the storeroom.
This is batch number 2. First batch, if you go back and you can laugh about it, was a amber ale. This is batch number 2, an IPA. So very different style. A little bit hard to compare. But again, do you have a glass, Matthew? You keep doing this without the glass.
I know.
Again, look at the bottom of this one. If you can see it in yours, there really is a lot of sediment down there. That's yeast, some hop stuff that I hadn't filtered out. So I'm just saying, like, the real way to do this is plus it helps on the aroma side too. All right, it's IPA. What else can I tell you about this? It's a little bit of an east. Kind of a blend between East Coast, West Coast.
You're just gonna pour the sediment into the cup and drink it from there?
No, what you do is you pour slow enough, it'll stay in the bottom of the bottle.
Okay.
While you're tipping it back the whole time, you're probably going to pick some up. So, noticeable, much better carbonation on this one, like real carbonation. Like the last one, I was very focused this time on getting the carbonation numbers right. I think I got it.
It tastes like an IPA, dude. I like it.
It tastes like a real
I mean,
beer.
I don't like IPAs, but like it's a respectable IPA taste.
Yeah, I was happy with this one, much happier than the first one. I think that I love the aroma. I love the start of it. It kind of falls flat again on the back end, like the last one. Not as bad as the last one did.
No, the last one was way waterier. Like this one doesn't taste watered down. It tastes like a beer. It tastes like a legit.
Like a beer. There's some things I realize I want to do a little bit differently next time. With the IPAs, the way you add the hops and the schedule you do it impacts it a bit. So there's some things I'd like to do a little bit differently. But all in all, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the progress of this. But I want to make this beer a few more times and see if I can tweak it a bit. So
that's good, man. I'm
glad
proud
you like
of you.
it. Thanks, man. Got some more coming. I got batch number 3 just started. I brewed up a couple days ago, and actually yesterday. And so the fermentation's going right now, starting to bubble. I could do show and tell later if you want to, and I can show you the actual what's happening. But before we get back into more of my beer nerdiness,
Okay.
Give us a chicken update. What's going on with chickens?
Oh, the chickens. No dead chickens. So 8 live chicken. They're getting big, dude.
Are they?
So like they grow really fast. They eat a lot. So right now they're eating a bunch, and no critters have gotten in there to disturb the flock, we'll say, or kill them. And the dogs haven't gotten in there either. So far so good.
Are the dogs pretty curious?
The dogs are very curious. One of the dogs in particular sits there and thinks of how they can get into the pen to kill all these chickens at once, I think. So,
Do you think if it does get in the pen, do you think there will be problems?
I think if Apollo gets in the pen, it's over. I think we're losing more than one chicken.
It's all done until his belly is full enough of chicken to where that's when he wants to stop, I guess.
Well, Apollo's like he doesn't eat, like he'll catch it and then kill it.
True.
Like that's what he does with the little chipmunks and little possums around.
My dog would be the same. I came and sat out here this afternoon having my lunch, and I look over and she's playing with something. I'm like, she's kind of doing it in a weird way. I go over and it's a turtle. There's a turtle back there that she had. Luckily, the turtle can protect itself, and we've got the turtle on the other side of the fence. But all these animals of ours. Well, good. So how much further do you think until it's egg time? You got a couple more months, I guess?
Yeah, we think 3 months. 3 months, and then we'll have eggs, and then it'll be the time when they don't lay eggs. I don't know. I like I told you, I did the coop planning. Now raising chickens, that's all Ivy and the neighbors. So we'll see.
That's trusting a lot to other people there. So I have a question for you.
Yep.
I did go. First of all, cheers.
Cheers.
So cheers.
Well done.
So chickens in Atlanta. I went and looked up
if it's legal.
If it's legal. So first of all, I have 2 questions. Well, first question: do you think where you live right now it is legal?
I believe it is.
Correct. That is correct.
Okay.
Second question. Follow on. what is the maximum number of chickens that you may have?
Oh gosh, I don't know. 12? Please say 12 or 15. Is it 9?
25.
25?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go buy more chickens.
That was not meant to encourage you to buy more chickens. Try to freak you out for a little bit, what you did, and then know that you're pretty well under. I don't know how reputable the site. I wasn't looking at the actual City of Atlanta statutes on it. Like I was looking at some other websites. So take that for what it's worth. But that seems to be the number. 25 chickens. So you got some room.
Any rooster rules? Like
I did not go that far. Do we know yet if there's any roosters in your group of 8?
We have a concern about one. So
Okay.
We're hoping not. So
while we're still talking about kind of fun things, it's kind of a week of milestones, big things to do this. I had 2 birthdays in my house. My beautiful wife who's sitting away with me there, she turned 32, is that right?
32 and a half.
32 and a half. That's how I roll. I've got a much younger trophy wife, by a whole year younger than me. Also had one Yahoo in my household who turned 18. So now we have truly 3 legal adults. They're sitting over there, so I'll just go ahead and put them on there in the household.
Hey.
But also, you guys have an anniversary this weekend, right?
Yeah, Sunday's 23.
Okay.
That's pretty legit.
Sunlight action. Pretty legit here. I'm trying to get that sunlight off me. So do you know, I know when I talked to you today, you're going out shopping for a gift.
Yep.
Do you know what the traditional gift is for 23 years?
No, but we used to have somebody who used to give us something from the traditional list every year. It was fascinating. For the first 15 years of our marriage, my godmother would send something off.
They're kind of weird, right? I mean, they're a little bit like.
Yeah, it was like paper and then cotton and then things like this. What's 23? I'm dying to know.
You graduated up a little bit. The traditional, I don't know what the modern version is. The traditional gift is a silver plate.
A silver plate?
Yeah.
That's not just silver. It's a silver plate.
Not silver. It's a silver plate. So
man,
that friend stopped giving you things when the things started getting good, like actual precious metals.
Yep.
Oh, geez, that's no good. Sometimes there's modern versions of these. I didn't see what the modern versions of 23 was. I don't know what it would be if it was modern.
Which one's 25? That's a big one, right? Is that the diamond one, or is that the?
I think that's further. I think diamond's like 50. I bet it's maybe
gold?
like gold. Yeah, maybe.
I'll have to see.
They probably ran out for your grandparents, right? Who were at what, 70?
7. Wait.
We thought about this the other day, right?
78 years now.
Your grandparents are at 78 years of marriage. I bet you there's not a 78 traditional.
I don't know. There was a 75.
Rochelle's gonna look it up while we're talking here just to see if there's I'm sure there's a 75. 75 should be like whatever the most precious.
I think after 50 they start skipping some years, but I can't remember.
But I don't know if there's a 78 or not. We'll have our fact checking team look into that while we're going.
Oh, we're doing that. That's awesome.
So it goes 85 and then 90. You have a 90 at the end of wedding anniversary.
You get
Granite at 90, and what's at 85?
85. Well, traditional at 90 is granite. Traditional 85 is moonstone or wine.
Okay, 85. Do you hear that? 85 is moonstone or wine, and 90 is granite.
Is that so you can get a tombstone, pre-order?
I mean, they do make tombstones and things like that out of granite, so maybe that's what they're trying to say.
You get a dual one at that one, I guess. I don't know. That's awful.
So what was 75, huh?
75 traditional.
Traditional 75
is diamond. Diamond-like stones.
So 75 is diamond or diamond-like stone, which, I mean, you better pony up for the actual diamond at 75. I'm just saying. So I don't know. It seems like a weird progression there, going from diamond to granite and the wine and moonstone and things like that. But there's this 23. Isn't that silver plate? That's what mine says.
Modern is silver plate. Traditional is nothing.
Oh, traditional is nothing. Modern silver plate. Okay. Well, either way.
Okay. Oh, so I have to
right.
do anything. Oh, good.
To do anything. Yeah. You're so traditional too, by the way.
Cool.
I know you got her something, but I won't spoil it, even though she'll never see this, and it'll come out after you give it to her anyway. Okay, so maybe we'll move into some actual business stuff. So let's talk. We can't ever avoid PPP. Do you know how much is available as of right now without looking?
75 million. I don't know.
130 million.
Okay. All right.
Here on June the 11th, right?
Wow.
It's a lot.
Get your request in.
You and I were talking about this, and I did speak to a banker that we know. The question became, what if you think you calculated the PPP wrong, incorrectly, or used reporting that should have incorrect, that maybe understated the actual loan amount? So I asked that question to the banker. Any idea? What would be your guess on what can be done in that case?
Nothing.
Incorrect.
Oh, wow.
Well, technically, apparently, the SBA is allowing people to, if there's a mistake in undervaluing the loan amount, you can actually add more to it. However, in practice, the banks aren't doing it. Like I don't think anyone's done it. Like I don't think anyone's actually, they're still, I think, very hands off with this. I think letter of the law, even though I haven't checked it per a banker who helped process some, said, yeah, you can request more, but there's been so many challenges already with the banks and the SBA. I don't think any of them are wading into it. So
interesting. I did have a crazy epiphany about the PPP loans this week.
Okay.
And it's about the tax forgiveness, and I haven't been able to work this one through, right?
Okay.
So if you are an owner, right, of the business, right, you should maximize on the report for forgiveness the amount of the owner compensation. And follow me here, because the forgiveness is not, like, that's the first thing you should maximize, because all of the expenses that you get forgiven aren't deductible, but owner compensation has no deductibility. So any owner compensation you get,
you're not getting hit on.
You don't get hit on, but I don't know how you account for it, but you don't, it doesn't show up. It shows up as not owner compensation. So on all the forgiveness calculations, owner compensation should be maxed out first, and then you go to the other things, which was not intuitive to me.
Are these things that, I'm imagining this happening. There you are, sleeping in your bed peacefully at night, and 3 a.m, you just kind of pop up and go, oh my gosh, I wonder if this is the best way to maximize PPP forgiveness. Is that how it happens, or is it,
No, this happened. I was talking to somebody who's primary, who is a small business, but doesn't
I'm
have
glad you were talking to somebody, not yourself, when that came about.
So they were having a small business, and I was going to go on my diatribe about, hey, make sure to make tax planning. But I was like, wait, they're getting all of this through distributions. Yeah. And distributions, I was like, this is not going to be taxable at all to them. So all the really small businesses that are just replacing their own income, you're like, score one for the little guys. So then everybody else, but for serious, if you're thinking about maximizing loan forgiveness right now, you should max out the owner compensation first, and then probably go to payroll, and then go to the other expenses administratively.
I will say one thing I've debated with some other accountants, and some of it's been kind of looking at things online. There's a little bit interesting was on owner's compensation. In the original round of the CARES Act and PPP, they talked about the cap, right, of $100,000 for owners and for highly compensated people, right? There's the $100,000 annual cap, which over the initial covered period of 8 weeks was like 15,300 something, right? Whatever that is.
Yeah.
And they wrote that amount specific into the original PPP language. There were some people who were concerned about, well, why in the additional forgiveness portion that got released 2 weeks ago, the clarifications around this, why didn't they actually write the new amount for the 24-week period versus the 8? And there were people thinking that maybe the $15,000 still applies because that was the last one that was mentioned. I came back and I've been saying,
no way.
It's not consistent. It's not consistently applied. Just because they used the dollar amount in the previous act, and when they updated the act they didn't use a dollar amount again, I don't think that means that they're still relying on that. It's really moving it from an 8 to a 24-week period or something,
Right.
your discretion. So
we'll find out when the banks do this review. I mean, we're still waiting for the redo of all the bank docs for the forgiveness calculation.
Yeah.
So, and SBA too. So on round 2. So we'll see what
driving
happens.
us a little bit crazy. We have to keep changing all of our workflow and all of our calculators because we're waiting for them to. It's amazing when all of us are building tools and building forms and workflow before they actually issue it. Which I know they got to run it through a lot of different, chains of command. But come on.
The best part about that though is that's what I think about.
I'm not sure that's the best part of that. So there's been some other updates this week on the PPP where a lot of people are starting to ask about, like, hey, are you going to release the names of small businesses who received the PPP loan? And for context, historically under the SBA 7A loans, that's private. You don't get to know who took those. But some certain advocates are saying, listen, these are taxpayer dollars, which technically they would have been off under this, the SBA 7A program, but they're saying these are taxpayer dollars. We should get to know and see who all the businesses are that took the loan. What is any knee-jerk reaction to that?
I don't care. I'm all about transparency. So I'm totally fine with that list getting published. I'm not really particularly, I would have preferred they said it was going to get published before you applied for it. And if they are going to publish it, I would give people the option to give it back before it's published. But I'm totally fine with it being published.
I don't think they're going to, by the way. In fact, they may have said no, they're not going to do that. But there have been some discussion around it. One of the interesting counterpoints to what you mentioned from a transparency perspective was people saying, well, wait a minute, this could potentially put many businesses at competitive disadvantage, right? So private companies who don't normally publish this information would be very easy to kind of back into, right? You go and say, wait a minute, this represents 8 weeks of their payroll period, right? Or 2.5 months in their payroll. And people can start doing all kinds of math to back into how big is this business and things like that. And so it's interesting. There were some people saying small private companies are private for a reason and can operate that way. But if you put this out there, people can start running math on them.
There's so many ways to do that. Just do
LinkedIn,
it.
right?
I do it on LinkedIn all the time.
All the time. How many people?
40 employees. Okay, there's 3.5 to 5 million in revenue.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's ways to do it.
There's ways to do it.
Some of the more notorious ones that have been coming out from who took the SBA loan were some of these sports teams. Have you seen the sports teams that got it and then ended up giving it back?
I think the Lakers got it, didn't they?
Lakers got it, gave it back. Then they went through and started kind of, I think, 5 different MLS teams, not ours, thankfully, not good old Atlanta United.
MLS teams, let them do it.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't know if they took them or not. I think they were waiting. I didn't see if they were going to get it back. 5 different. I think it was. Miami was a brand new squad. Probably makes some sense. But Orlando, our arch rival, who we not really a rival because we always put it on them anyway.
Totally expected for Orlando, but they're
totally about Orlando
together. So I mean,
you
just gotta give them. You gotta give them. You gotta let them try it. I mean, it's poor guys.
So, I think the Sounders and Seattle, a few others, but they did. And then when they went through MLB, I think there was a very large no comment issued by MLB, so no one knows whether they did or not. But I think people have been finding that interesting to hear these billionaires, right, who own these teams for the most part, who probably have access to capital. They're the ones who get raked through there. What else did I have for you? I think that's all I had on PPP. Anything else you had on PPP?
No, that was my one epiphany about the owner's comp on the forgiveness side.
If Matthew doesn't get a chance to talk PPP every day, then he just starts,
I know. Sorry.
Things just kind of pop out of his head. I don't know if you've looked at different businesses that are flourishing during this time, kind of COVID. And I guess one proxy for that is looking at stock price. I don't know how you follow the stock markets closer than I do, but there was a list published. It's not current as of today, but there's 40 stocks that have gone up pretty significantly during COVID. And these aren't really weird, penny stocks or things like that. These are kind of more name brand ones.
Do you want me to try to guess?
Yeah,
Over.
I'll give you.
So
I'll
Amazon.
I'll see how many
Yeah.
you can get right in a row. How about that?
Amazon.
Okay, that is correct. So think each
Zoom.
time. Hold on. I have to double check on Zoom. I'm not sure they did or not.
Zoom made it. Zoom's gone crazy during this time.
Of course, no, my link doesn't want to work on my thing.
That's right.
We'll count Zoom. Keep going.
I just want to know the top 5 or 10.
It was actually sorted alphabetically. I didn't go through and resort them, but
Okay. Amazon, Zoom, Kroger.
Kroger was not one, but there were other grocery
Kroger's
stores
not
in
one?
there. Was not
I'm
one.
pretty sure their stock is like crazy. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Now I'm in the list. I'll check to see if Kroger's on there. Now I got the list up.
Kroger's KR, I think.
So my apologies. You were correct, Kroger. You are still
Costco.
right by Zoom is on there. You were still 3 for 3. Okay, Costco. Let's see here on Costco. 4 for 4. Okay, keep going. How many of these can you get?
Home Depot. That might be a stretch.
That's your first miss.
Okay.
You went 4 in a row.
I should have done like Walmart before that, but that's all right.
Yeah.
What are there any big ones on there?
I'll give you some others that jump out.
Peloton should be on there too. If I'm
I think Peloton is on there. However, they IPO'd this year, so I think their price may have been up. I don't know if they got as much. But yeah, Peloton, I think, is on there as well.
Their home.
Yes, Peloton is on there. Yep. Here's some others who are up, right? PayPal is up. Electronic payments, a whole bunch. So our kids will know all about these, but things like
like Hulu, Disney,
Netflix, Electronic Arts, so
Electronic
EA,
Arts. Oh yeah, all the video games.
The video game ones, right?
Nintendo,
Activision, and Nvidia, which apparently makes like video for video cards for video gaming and things like that.
Any big
bunch around gaming
e-commerce other than Amazon on there? Any like specific brands or anything like that, or is it more just
Apple is actually in there? Still surprising.
I'm not surprised Apple's there.
Otherwise, like things like General Mills, so people must have gone crazy on cereal. There's been a run on
toilet paper, cereal, groceries, all groceries.
Dollar General, Domino's Pizza.
Domino's.
Here's another good one, DocuSign.
Oh, DocuSign. Yeah, that makes sense. Electronic signatures. Yeah. Cool.
Bunch of things. Pretty good there. You did pretty well. I'm impressed. You got
Home Depot is up, by the way.
Is it?
But, yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be a big winner the longer it goes, because I don't know about you. Every weekend I want to do something in my yard over here.
Not everybody's building chicken coops. You are, however. So I mean,
it's about time people in garden that. I mean, it's gonna be a good time for Home Depot.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, we are actually funny you say that, because we are talking about doing some more work in the backyard and gardening. But yeah, that's one. I think people staying at home are definitely fixing some things up.
Yep.
So let's just kind of see what continues that way. That's what I had for you this week.
Cool, man.
Anything else you want?
Talking to you, you did great on your beer.
It's okay. It's not bad. It's I'm kind of critical on it. You want to see here? Come up with something else to talk about. I'll show you. I'll do a show and tell. Just always to make it interesting for people who watch till the end.
I mean,
I'll show you
the big thing we did this week was we launched collections as a product. We're like calling to help people collect money. That's pretty cool.
Talk more about that.
Talk more about that. Oh yeah.
I got to get to the basement to show you my.
Show you your still. Oh, while Kenji is completely distracting us, we decided to get into the calling for dollars, not the hardcore collections. Invoice Sherpa and Callbox, both of them are helping us with our kind of AR assisting or calling on customers and doing a light touch to get customers cash in.
Yep.
So entry price is $150 a month. So
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're charging
right now. Yeah. So we're gonna have to up that bad boy. But for right now, people can get into the beta for $150 a month. So it's not even on the website, I don't think yet. So you have to talk to Tyler. So
thank you for following me into the cave.
Oh,
now
wow,
we're down.
Okay.
Okay, down in our basement. This has been my brewery area.
Okay.
So we'll finish with this. So there's a batch of beer right there. See that? You can see next to it, like it's bubbling.
Yep.
That means the beer is fermenting. That is a Hefeweizen, German Hefeweizen. It's fermenting. I did this about 24 hours ago. And that's good. That's all that's that carbon dioxide coming off while the yeast is all converting it into carbon dioxide and alcohol. So it's working. I was a little nervous because after 24 hours, it usually starts going pretty good. And I brewed this kind of yesterday, and this morning I checked up and there was no activity. And I was like, oh, crap, it's dead. And you hear this with people who brew, and you go do all the work and you spend the hours and you brew and do all the stuff, and then nothing happens. And so I've been like coming down every hour to check that stupid thing to make sure like there've been no bubbles all day. Now it finally started going. So before we got on, I was running around the house like, yes, it's fermenting. And my family got to laugh at me. They're like, you're such a nerd.
Yeah. I go out there. That's what I do every hour. I go out and check to make sure the chickens are alive. So
Yeah.
I count to 8 every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So.
Well, I'm hoping to expand down here more and get a few more. I got some other eyes on some other things coming. My family doesn't even entirely know about it, but they'll. I will at some point turn this whole area back here into my own little home brewery.
Well, I would like to vote for the stout, so you knew I was going to do that.
I'm going to work on that one in a couple more batches, so it'll be ready for us in the cooler weather, and hopefully work on something for our tailgates if we can get back to Falcons tailgate.
Something with a hint of coffee or something with a hint of chocolate. Either one, I'm good.
Coffee and chocolate. Okay. And again, you were a champ for your least favorite beer, trying the IPA.
It's great, man.
And again, next time pour it into a glass so you're not, you probably won't get to the bottom of it to drink the yeast. But
I'll go upstairs now that I'm halfway through. It's a big bottle. I'm halfway through. I'll go.
Save that bottle for me, by the way, too. I'll reuse it.
Okay. I'll get a filter and pour it into the glass so I can make sure I get all of it because it's pretty good. 4.2. 4.2.
4.2. I was going to ask. Okay, I'll give it a 3.75.
Okay.
So
it's above average IPA for me, dude. I'm really impressed.
It's fun because it's fun when it's someone who made it for you, just like your friend who made you the wine. It's just kind of fun when people bring you stuff. Like when someone has like eggs from
the wine jug I got was about as big as all that beer, though. It's kind of awesome. So it's a huge wine jug. So
that's 5 gallons worth. You couldn't make it through 5 gallons of IPA.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
Me, on the other hand, I could. But anyway.
Cool.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us as usual. We ask that you subscribe. We love to see more subscribers. You send comments.
Join us.
And come join us and follow us again. Normally when we rate regular beers that you can get your hands on the Untappd app, look for Drink While You Think there. And thanks for joining us down in the cave in the basement. And we'll do a tour next time of the chicken coop.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thanks, everyone.
Catch you guys later.